For this Australian family, adhering to faith extends to finance.
You can't eat the bacon, you can't have that non-alcohol. The biggest one is interest.
Islamic banks or Islam in general tries to avoid that.
And that's tough because interest dominates the banking system, including Dolomite savings accounts, which Malika's had since her childhood.
We don't actually keep the interest. We could choose to donate the interest that's accumulated, for example, which is what I do.
Anything that needs to be direct debited gets direct debited, and the rest having cash.
Home loans are more complicated.
I've always wanted to go down the path of not using interest.
Then the couple heard about Islamic finance. Unlike conventional mortgages, where you buy a property with money from the bank, which you pay back, plus interest and fees, deals brokered by Islamic finance companies are being done under rent-to-buy agreements, where you still hand over a deposit and the institution buys the property under a risk-share agreement. They then lease it to you at a monthly fee, comparable to the current interest rate. They make a profit until the customer eventually owns the property outright.
This is what you're going to do. This is you, that's me.
The model is complicated to fit into Australian laws, but it works for Ibrahim and Malika. They've flipped 3 homes using Islamic finance.
Now that this is available for us, we're quite happy.
Zara and Hala Cercius are also happy. They haven't bought a home yet, but recently they pulled their super out of a major fund into one designed for their beliefs.
The funds have to come from a clean source, so that rules out the whole tobacco industry, gambling industry.
Islamic financing companies are brokering loans for small businesses, including this halal butcher.
Very, very grateful that enable us as Muslim businessmen to grow. It's a halal butcher in a halal investment with a halal super.
And it's not just small business. The National Australia Bank has just made history by launching a product for property and construction companies needing finance above $5 million.
We've worked with global Sharia scholars to develop a lease-to-own type structure, which is called an ijara muntayba tamlik, that fits the Australian context, but at the same time remains true to Islamic principles.
And that opens the door to offshore investment.
We're next door to one of the world's most populous Muslim nations, Indonesia, along with other Muslim majority countries in the region.
An industry report has found that Islamic finance could be worth $250 billion to Australia's economy, but with only a tiny fraction of the 600,000 Australian Muslims involved, it's clear that the sector is still very niche.
The Muslim community, it's not a monolith. It's different views, different backgrounds. I don't think 100% of Muslims are going to jump into Islamic finance.
The companies offering services here are doing so under credit licences, but they can't take deposits. Some believe the market could take Australia's first Islamic bank.
We've only got literally 1% of that market covered. There's still 99% to go. It's a large market.
His institution and a rival startup, IBA Group, are applying to the regulator APRA for restricted banking licences.
That means that when we first kick off, we'll be offering transaction accounts for everyday banking, we'll be offering savings products.
That's something that Ibrahim says he'd use.
100%. 100%, yeah.
I've been with Commonwealth since Dolomite days, primary school days, so I'm quite happy with Commonwealth. I've been with them forever.
Showing that banking, a bit like faith, has many different views.